Okay, we're back at the table again for another rendition of Tara's awesome handwriting and crinkled paper. Welcome back, bosses. I have heard from several of you that one of your biggest bottlenecks right now is that you're just not sure what you want or what you want most, or even just that you have so many ideas, you're not sure what you want first. So in this video, I'm going to give you a little bit of a homework exercise to help you find it. Now, this is deceivingly simple, so before you comment telling me that, I want you to actually try it, because often what sounds simplistic in explanation is actually pretty magical when it comes to implementation. So first, let's talk about how to figure out what you want. I've coached so many women through this, and every time I find they actually do know what they want, but one of two things is stopping them from seeing it. Either they're afraid to admit what they want, or they're focused in the wrong direction. If number one is the case, I want you to write down on the top of a sheet of paper, if I wasn't afraid of what it might cost me, or what others would think, or how difficult it might be, or whether I felt I was ready for it right now, what would be totally amazeballs? After you write that down, go ahead and spend some time with the question. Now, this sometimes is a question you need to ask yourself more than once, meaning sit down with it one day and write as much as you can, and then come back to it the next day and do the same thing. And maybe do this for a week or 2 weeks or 3 weeks. But through a process of just focusing on the question, you're going to pull into focus the actual answers. However, if number two is the case for you, I want you to flip that paper over, draw a line straight down the middle of it, and at the top of one side, one column, write what I do not want. Now, think about things that you grew up with, things that you're dealing with now, what you are so over, problems or challenges that you're facing, things that you're doing that you don't like, but then list all the reasons why as well. For example, maybe you're writing down, I don't like my job. Well, why don't you like your job? I don't like the negative people that I work with. I don't like getting up early to get there at 8 a.m. or 9 a.m. I don't like not being available for my kids at lunchtime or after school. I don't like the kind of work that I'm actually doing. Or maybe I do like it, but I don't like this aspect of it. So you're not just listing down what you don't like, but really the details behind it, because this is going to lead us to the next part of this step. By the end, you should have a good long list of things that make you cringe. So it could be things like, I don't like living paycheck to paycheck. I don't like working with negative people. I don't like fighting with my spouse. I don't like having no girlfriends to hang out with on Saturdays, and so on. And yes, you might fill up more than one page. That's okay. We've all been there. Now, on the opposite side of that page, I want you to just write down the opposite of each of those things. So the opposite of living paycheck to paycheck might mean an extra $2K a month. Or the opposite of fighting with your spouse is having a passionate relationship with lots of laughter. Now, fold that page in half, and voila, you've just created a vision of your dream life to hang on your mirror, to create focus and intention around to help you move towards it. One little tip here before you move forward, though, you may actually want to take this list of opposites and rewrite it as your dream life, categorizing things accordingly. So maybe you notice a bunch of things for health, a bunch of things for home, a bunch of things for relationships and family, a bunch of things for finances. I would recommend to actually take those things, write it into a one-page dream life before you hang it up. But now comes the last challenge, knowing what you want or even need most. Figuring out of all these things, what comes first. Remember, we can have it all, we can do it all, but we can't do it all at once. So look over this list you've just made and ask yourself, which of these things matters most in this vision? Not that the others don't matter, but there are always one or two things that everything else kind of hinges on, right? Usually it's things like our health, our relationships, and our finances. So what are those things for you? I want you to circle whatever stands out first. You can also ask that question in different ways. So you might ask which of these is a keystone or a fundamental or a foundational piece that everything else is going to be built on. Now, let's say you wind up narrowing it down to more than one. That's possibly okay. We can sometimes work on more than one goal at a time, right? Depending on the size and the scope of that goal. But I still want you to look at your list and decide for yourself, of the ones you've circled, which of those is most crucial. That's the one you want to tackle. Now you might be left wondering, how do I tackle it? What comes next? I have my goal, now what? This is where I get to do a shameless and very excited plug for my upcoming 100% free 5-day Get Out of Your Own Way challenge. I'm taking a group of women through the steps of how to turn their goal into a realistic, actionable plan that their sometimes not so confident, sometimes not so motivated selves can still execute and make happen. I'm also going to be teaching you some simple tools to increase both your motivation and your confidence level so that you can build the mindset that helps you follow through. And I'll be there for daily breakthrough coaching on any obstacles that might come up along the way, internally or otherwise. So if you're ready to take action and you want the tools, the support, the encouragement, the accountability and energy of other like-minded women to see it through, click the link below to sign up, invite your biz besties, and let's make some freaking magic happen.